Ever wonder how self-made billionaires think and act when it comes to money? Sure, there's a lot of talk about the investments they make, the businesses they build, and the innovative ideas they bring to life. But underneath all of that are financial habits, daily actions, and thought patterns that shape their relationship with wealth. These aren't just some high-level, untouchable practices either. They're often simple, actionable habits that anyone can adopt. Yes, you heard that right. Today, we're breaking down the financial habits of self-made billionaires, and I'm going to show you exactly how you can incorporate them into your life starting now. The billionaire mindset. It all starts with discipline. The first thing you've got to understand is that the journey to billions doesn't start with luck. It starts with discipline. Billionaires aren't making random decisions when it comes to money. They have a game plan, and they stick to it, no matter what. Warren Buffett, one of the richest men on the planet, is a great example. He's known for saying, "The chains of habit are too light to be felt until they are too heavy to be broken." Buffett built his wealth not by swinging for the fences every time, but by consistently making smart, disciplined decisions over decades. How can you apply this to your life? Start with budgeting. Yeah, I know, it sounds basic. But think of it like this. Your budget is your personal business plan. Every single billionaire you know has a business plan they follow to grow their wealth. Why shouldn't you have one? Track every dollar, know where your money is going, and make sure it's working for you, not the other way around. Prioritize saving and investing over spending. Billionaires aren't obsessed with showing off their wealth. Instead, they're focused on preserving and growing it. A powerful habit they follow is this: they save and invest more than they spend. That's why you'll see someone like Mark Zuckerberg, a man worth over $100 billion, driving a modest car or wearing the same plain t-shirts over and over again. He doesn't care about flashy spending. He's focused on what really builds wealth, investing. Now, if you're thinking, "I don't have millions to invest," don't worry. It's not about the amount, it's about the habit. Even if you're putting aside just $10 a week, it's the practice of consistently investing that matters. You've got to make it a priority. The earlier you start, the better, because that money compounds over time. Set up automatic transfers to a savings account, invest in an index fund, or put money into a business idea. Just keep that focus on growth, not spending. Delayed gratification, the key to long-term wealth. One of the biggest differences between billionaires and the rest of the population is their ability to delay gratification. Self-made billionaires are pros at this. They don't get rich by blowing every dollar they make. Instead, they reinvest it, growing their wealth over time. Take Jeff Bezos, for example. In the early days of Amazon, he didn't take profits and go on a spending spree. He reinvested every penny back into the company to grow it into the giant it is today. So, what's the lesson here for you? Practice delayed gratification. It's tempting to upgrade your lifestyle every time you get a raise or bonus. But before you spend that extra money, stop and think about how you could use it to build more wealth for your future self. Could you invest it in a retirement account, pay off debt, or start a side hustle? The key here is shifting your mindset. Instead of thinking, "How can I spend this money to make my life better now?" ask yourself, "How can I use this money to improve my life in the future?" Automate financial decisions. One of the most powerful financial habits billionaires have is that they automate as much as possible. Whether it's setting up automatic investments or making their bill payments automatic, they take the decision-making process out of the equation for certain things. Why? Because they know that human willpower isn't perfect. Even billionaires can get distracted or forgetful, and they eliminate that risk by setting up systems that run on autopilot. Ray Dalio, the founder of Bridgewater Associates, is famous for his emphasis on systematizing decisions. He believes that if you can turn decisions into repeatable processes, you're less likely to make emotional mistakes. You can do the same thing. Set up an automatic transfer to your savings account as soon as your paycheck hits. automate your retirement contributions, and schedule bill payments so you never miss one. The less you have to think about these things, the more you can focus on growing your wealth. Live below your means. You might think that billionaires, with all their wealth, would be living extravagant lifestyles, but more often than not, they don't. One of the key financial habits self-made billionaires follow is living below their means. Take Warren Buffett, who still lives in the house he bought in 1958, or Ingvar Kamprad, the founder of IKEA, who flew economy class well into his billionaire status. Living below your means is one of the most effective ways to build wealth because it gives you more money to save and invest. If you're always upgrading your lifestyle to match your income, you'll never be able to accumulate real wealth. So how can you adopt this habit? Start by taking a hard look at your current spending. What are the things you could cut back on without sacrificing your quality of life? Maybe it's eating out less often, delaying that new car purchase, or finding more affordable housing. By spending less than you earn, you free up more money for things that actually matter in the long term, like investments and savings. Network strategically and seek knowledge. Self-made billionaires are constantly learning, constantly improving, and constantly surrounding themselves with people who push them to be better. They network strategically, not just to gain favors, but to gain knowledge. Look at someone like Elon Musk. He's famous for reading everything he can get his hands on and constantly talking to people who know more than he does in different fields. He's always expanding his horizons, learning about industries and technologies that he's not directly involved in yet. For you, this means investing in your personal and professional growth. Surround yourself with people who are where you want to be. Seek out mentors, join online communities, and engage in conversations that challenge you. But don't just focus on networking for opportunities. Focus on learning. The more you grow intellectually, the more equipped you'll be to make smart financial decisions that can eventually lead you to real wealth. Focus on creating value. If there's one thing billionaires understand deeply, it's the importance of creating value. Billionaires don't get rich by trading time for money. They get rich by building something that solves a problem or fulfills a need. Whether that's a business, a product, or even an investment, the key is to focus on creating value for other people. Think about Steve Jobs. He didn't build Apple by asking, "How can I make a lot of money?" He focused on, "How can I create a product that people will love?" The money followed because he built something that provided value to millions of people. Now, you might not be in a position to start the next Apple, but you can still focus on creating value in your current role, job, or business. Ask yourself, how can I solve problems for people? How can I make life easier for someone else? The more value you provide, the more wealth you can potentially create for yourself in the long run. Have a long-term vision. Billionaires don't think in days or months. They think in years and decades. They have a long-term vision for their wealth and their lives, and every financial decision they make is aligned with that vision. Take Bill Gates, for example. He's always had a long-term vision, both with Microsoft and with his philanthropic efforts. He doesn't get caught up in short-term gains or losses because he's focused on the bigger picture. So how can you apply this to your financial life? Start by setting long-term goals. What do you want your financial life to look like in 5, 10, or 20 years? Are you aiming for financial independence? A certain amount of savings? Early retirement? Once you've set those long-term goals, break them down into smaller, actionable steps. Every financial decision you make should bring you closer to those goals. If something doesn't align with your vision, it's not worth your time or money. Take calculated risks. One thing billionaires aren't afraid to do is take risks, but they're not reckless risks. They take calculated risks. That means they assess the potential upside, the downside, and the likelihood of success before making a move. They understand that big rewards often require big risks, but they never take risks they can't afford to lose. Look at Richard Branson, the founder of the Virgin Group. He's famous for his adventurous spirit and willingness to take risks, but he's always careful to structure his ventures in a way that minimizes the downside. For instance, when he started Virgin Atlantic, he made sure that if it failed, it wouldn't bankrupt him. You can adopt this habit by being willing to step out of your comfort zone financially, but doing so in a way that's smart. Maybe it's starting a side hustle, investing in a new asset class, or negotiating for a raise. Whatever it is, make sure you've done your homework. And always assess the risk versus the reward. Stay humble and stay hungry. Finally, one of the most important financial habits of self-made billionaires is that they stay humble and stay hungry. They don't let success make them complacent, and they're always looking for ways to grow and improve. They stay humble in the sense that they're willing to learn from others, and they stay hungry in the sense that they never stop striving for more. Billionaires like Oprah Winfrey embody this mindset. Despite her massive success, Oprah has always remained focused on learning and personal growth. She's never satisfied with just good enough. She's always pushing herself to be better, to do more, to reach higher. If you want to build wealth like a billionaire, adopt this mindset. Stay curious, stay humble, and never stop looking for opportunities to improve. Complacency is the enemy of progress, so keep pushing forward. In conclusion, start today. The financial habits of billionaires aren't magical or impossible. They're a series of daily, consistent actions and decisions that anyone can adopt. It's about discipline, long-term thinking, living below your means, creating value, and constantly seeking growth. The most important part is to start today. Don't wait for the perfect moment or the perfect amount of money. Start small, build these habits into your daily life, and over time, you'll start to see the results. Remember, wealth building is a marathon, not a sprint. Stay patient, stay consistent, and keep your eyes on the long-term vision. Adopt these financial habits, and who knows, maybe one day, you'll be looking at your bank account and realizing you've built a fortune too. Let's get to work. Now that you've got the blueprint, it's time to act. You've got everything you need to start your journey to wealth. So what are you waiting for? It's time to implement these habits and get one step closer to financial freedom.